So this is kind of a follow-up video from the other day, because turns out I'm not the only person that was talking about how renting seems to be a viable option. Right after I shot the video, I went back into work and was doing some things, and I noticed an alert came over my computer, because I follow I follow Fox News and a couple other. Anyway, they had put an article up about how more and more seniors are turning to renting versus homeowning. And if you think about it, a lot of that makes sense. The article stated somewhere around 28% of people 55 and older are going to rent, and that they expect that number to go higher. And of course, they said it's even more when you look at people up in their 60s and 70s, because as you get older, I think you get to a point where you go, I can't really maintain this home anymore on my own, so I'm paying people to maintain it for me. And of course, even if it's paid for, you still have, the taxes and the insurance and the upkeep. So, and it's one of the things that my mother has been facing lately, because she plans to move to Florida soon after I do, or around the same time. And she's realizing that she's paying more people to maintain her house for her, and it just doesn't make any sense anymore. And we're trying to find something that's more of an not assisted living, but a independent living. And lo and behold, turns out it's a lot more affordable in Florida, imagine, than it is Illinois. Anyway, but the point being is that you get to a point that I believe, and she's now realizing, that she pays somebody to do her yard, she pays somebody to remove snow, because obviously we still get snow, and then she's always concerned about something breaking. Well, one of the beautiful things that's cited in the article about renting is, one, you get freedom from all that, right? You have no more worries about things breaking. When they break, you call somebody, and it's not your cost, not your expense, unless of course you did it. Number two, a lot of freedom with renting. You don't have to make sure that the yard's taken care of before you spend your weekend doing the things that are fun. Or if you're retired, you don't have to worry about doing the yard at all. So you eliminate all that pesky yard work. Number three, you've got the freedom to come and go and move if you decide to. We are on our second location in Florida already, not purposely per se, but just because the way the things worked out, that a better job was offered in a better location where we wanted to be closer to anyway, and the situation worked out great. And now we're in a duplex, or as Florida likes to call them, villas. And they're not, townhouses when they're on top, condos is when they're stacked up, a villa is when they're side by side. Up in northern Illinois, we call that a duplex. Anyway, we are in a duplex now. It's a 2-car garage, almost 1,600 square foot, and it's still, by doing the numbers, the same price as I was paying for a home up here with taxes and upkeep and maintenance. So it just was a no-brainer. And by the way, my house was not paid for in Illinois, so I was still making house payments and insurance either way, and taxes. But even if I had gotten it paid for before I retired, which was kind of the plan, I still would have been looking at $1,200 to $1,500 a month in taxes, insurance, and upkeep. And it's expensive, especially going into retirement and retirement incomes. And when your numbers go down, you need to adjust the rest of your budget, right? So I also believe that means adjusting your lifestyle and your living expenses. And that can be the cost of where you live. So that's why renting worked out really good for us. Not to mention, it's really hard to buy in Florida without spending way too much money. But the other part that's great about renting is that when you're sick of the place, you can let your lease run out and you can find a better place and move, or a different place and move. If you decide to change locations, it's not that much of a burden. It's always a pain to move, but it's not unheard of to look for an upgrade or downgrade based on size and need. And that would, of course, be something we'll look at later if need be, because right now we need the extra bedroom in the room so we have room for visitors and for my daughter to live in, etc. But when she is out on her own and moving on with her life, we may not need a 2+ bedroom. We can go on to a 2-bedroom. Right now we pay a little extra to have the extra room. So it's great to have the flexibility when you rent. I'm not advocating against for or against either. I'm just explaining my situation and why it works for us. And I'm not the only one. Apparently a lot of seniors are starting to turn that way. And I just love the option and love the low cost of insurance. I can tell you, one of the things I wanted to mention in my other video is that my homeowner's insurance in Illinois was about $300 a month. My renter insurance for Florida to cover up to $100,000 worth of losses is $20 a month. That's pretty significant, and I pay no taxes, at least not directly. Anyway, thanks for watching. Drop your comments below if you have anything good to say, and I appreciate you. See you next time.